Okay. Seems to work okay. I probably should test the audio, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I guess I have to wait for playback to see if that sounds okay. Well, that worked. Hey, TV girl, good morning. I'm not really doing a stream today. This is on an illusion. I'm just testing out. I haven't done Restream or used their streaming software in a while. So, since God knows when. So, don't mind me. I'm just going to do a bunch of quick testing. And then I'm going to close out. Oof. And it just got warm, so I'm just trying to, but yeah, so I'm just trying to figure things out, see what they look like on screen. Oh, that's kind of cool. Interesting. Let's see. So, but anyway, how are you? Well, we mess around here. AOTRT. I'm just trying to see how certain things look. With this software, I don't know if you know about Restream. With this software, is that I can invite people to join me on the stream. I just don't know. I guess I would have to be on my phone. Usually what happens is I would use OBS and I would stream in 2 places, and I'm always having to look away to see what type of see the chat. But I think by doing it the way that I'm doing it now with Restream, I may not have to do that. But I can't see if my stream is on. I guess I'm gonna have to do this. Just doing weird stuff right now. It wouldn't be here, or would it? So instead of having to do, and there isn't. So I really don't know how this is going to work. Either way, we're just trying to figure things out. I have done a ton of live. Ah, there it is. Skaboy. Okay, that's interesting. But it doesn't show just the vertical, which is what I was trying to test out. Oh my goodness, it's getting warm. Hey, you know what? I'll give myself some hearts. Why not? Uh, so what happens if I... Can I scroll? Nope. 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 It just goes away. Okay. Anyway, I'm just trying to figure things out, see how things look. This looks pretty good. So I can be found. I just don't know if I will be seen in the shorts stream. You see how it looks like that on the phone? What I really wanted to... I have another screen. And I really don't want to... I don't want to be taxing my computer and my servers. That type of stuff. Not my servers, but you know, I think you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna have to find a short and scroll through to see if I find myself, apparently. Have you ever just scrolled through the short feeds like this? The stuff you find in here is really... Sometimes it's just weird. Sometimes it's people milking cows. A lot of thirst trapping. A lot of people reading scripture, which is great. And then a lot of people just staring into the camera. I'm trying to see if I can find my stream through the shorts. What can you do? I can't believe that this is what life has become. It is what it is, right? All right, so all right, watch history's gone. Let's see. Mellow. No, okay. Is it because I can't be private? Huh. You try to stop watching reels is giving me... yeah, man, it really is something else. It's kind of disheartening what we end up having to deal with. I just want some... you know, I don't even know what I want. Interesting. Is this the one I'm waiting on? Do I have to start both streams? Streaming. Mirror. Nope. I don't know. Yeah, I hear you about the brainwash. See, this is interesting. So I think this is my vertical. So it's possible that I never enabled that part. But I didn't. I hope you're doing well. The brainwashing is sucky. When you start doing this stuff, when you start streaming, or when you're trying to build a channel or just a career the way I'm trying to build, or I don't even know if that's a word, what I'm trying to do here. Your channels, pair channels. I'll guess. Yeah, I don't know what to do. So maybe I must have done something incorrectly, but I can see some texts here and here. So, you want me to draw something while we're hanging out? And then I'll just call it. Shout it out. What do you want me to do? Like, dance, monkey, dance. Might as well. Let me turn my fan on. And we're going to have a quick drawing. You kind of wish to be in the 80s and 90s? You think times were simpler then? Yeah, I can see that. They didn't have TikTok. Yeah, we had to read. We had to read stuff. They grabbed the newspaper. No TikTok, no... Yeah. Yep. How about... What was popular in the 80s? This is the worst part about being an artist sometimes, is trying to figure out what to draw and what not to. Alright, so I might have to just keep doing some some testing out. But that's okay. They don't have TikTok or AI at the worst. Well, as far as we know. I think that money bought a lot of things. So. Yeah, that's so weird. Weird. So I'm assuming that I just didn't add a streaming link to my vertical, and that's what happened. So anyway, why am I going through Restream again? I'm glad you asked. Because I think I'm going to start introducing or start inviting people to my streams again. How big is this? 9 by 12. Yesterday I tried to draw Thor. Didn't work out too well. You think that's a great idea? The having people jump online again? Well, inviting people. It could be, or it could be an absolute disaster. I've had an experience with both. I wanted to try to figure out how to draw extreme poses, and I just can't seem to. If you go through references and look at it, it becomes so absurd and difficult. So I want to find something so I can try to break down the character. Yesterday I was trying to draw Thor. My son made a interesting comment that it was funny that I was drawing Thor after I drew Jane Foster, Valkyrie, after I drew He-Man and She-Ra. Caleb, good morning, man. This is an impromptu. I'm just messing around. I've used Restream before, and it works really well. I've had some issues with it crashing. What I'm trying to do is eliminate as much technology around me. I use OBS. That's what I use to stream both on horizontal and vertical. Restream apparently does both vertical and horizontal, but for whatever reason, I don't think I have the vertical option available to me. I don't pay for it, man. I'm using the free version. So I don't know. But it did create a, use your words, Mel. It did create another stream, if that makes sense. But it works fine. It's not too bad. It does what it's supposed to do. That's one thing. All right. So I'm gonna go live. Yes, right here. Can I go here? Can I go to the live studio? So I'm just messing around. Renee Machuca, how are you? That's so funny. The day I'm just messing around. So why is this auto-generated? I'm just messing around. I'm trying to figure out what this friggin' I think for me to figure it out. What the heck? I think a bird just hit my window. You're still working on the collage of your spider, Sona. 1 second. Come on, Chris. And school's not making it easy. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, also, when I'm on Restream, I'm twitching. I am tweaking. I am streaming on Twitch as well. Stream orientation. Film and animation, what is it that I do, guys? Am I entertainment? How to and style? Yeah, I'm gonna have to tweak and just read the instructions. That's all I'm gonna have to do. It says I can do on both, but I may have to just figure it out. Anyway. A little strut. You remember that meme of Leonardo DiCaprio? When he was just kind of like strutting in the middle of the street? Alright. I tried to paint on this paper yesterday and it was an absolute disaster. Hey, you want to see? One of the things I've really learned about trying to get better with art is not being emotionally attached to my artwork. There's some things in here that came out pretty good, and there's some stuff that came out pretty terrible. There goes there. I really dug the electricity. It's supposed to be Thor flying towards us. I probably could have kept going. I didn't like the way the face was materializing. Do I need a plugin? Is that what it is? Anyway, that's what I did. But no me gustó, so I didn't like it, so I chucked it. And that's okay. I did like certain things about it. I liked the pose. I used this guy, so he had his fist over. It was foreshortened fist. Hand back here. I almost wish this hand was on the other, but it is what it is. This figure, it might be too stiff, but maybe that's what is necessary or needed for stop motion. How about we get that elbow out? You can spin the hammer, aiming like a quarterback. No, that wouldn't be a quarterback. Was that like a javelin chucker? Can we get that? Can we get that shot? What do you think? I like the lighting there. The one thing about I love the details on these things, but this thing is so exaggerated. All right, let's see. I wish I had something to hold it. There's a great shot in the comics. I can't remember who he's fighting, but he's kind of set up like that. How would you do that? Would you stand up for me, sir? He's gonna tip over. I'm gonna have to use a prop here. See if we can exaggerate that. This isn't gonna be the right paper for it, but let's see if we can exaggerate it, make something real quick. The whole point about figure drawing and gestures is trying to have an action line, so let's see if we can figure that. And it looks like it's a curve, reverse C, or the back end of a parentheses. Not parentheses, yeah, parentheses. Alright. Like that. Also, can I say I hate drawing capes? Alright. There you go, like a constellation. Loosey-goosey, getting the face in there. Alright. But It's gonna be interesting. Arm. Can you guys see that? See, that's the one thing on OBS. I have everything already set up. For me to show you guys this, I would have to figure out a way to tighten up the screen. Can I do that here? Video, I don't think I can zoom. Nope. Can I customize the radius? No, that's it. That's all I got. Sorry. Suffer the little children. Okay, here we go. Where was I? Arm bent back. See the underarm. See the... We want this arm folded out, elbow here. It's gonna look weird, but believe me, it's gonna be all right. TV, are you was thinking about 80s and 90s? This is going to be a very 80s and 90s version of Thor. It's just going to be jacked. Hopefully I can get like a John Romita. Small waist, big upper body. Just a mountain of a man. You know the frigging mountain of a man? Friggin'. Is his name Alec? Alan Rickman? The dude that plays Reacher? Good gravy. I'm watching the latest, not the latest, season 3 of Reacher. Man. He's friggin' ginormous, man. He doesn't make sense. We gotta get the motion of the cape. Good day. 10 o'clock. You got these things here. Let's see if we can clean this up at least. Let's see. When you're using a kneaded eraser, if you've used it before, I don't recommend that you erase your, erase your drawing. Oh no! My hand fell. Like you would a regular eraser from going back and forth. What happens is this gets dirty. And if you do that, you'll leave marks on the paper. You see these weird, you see those harsh marks here and there? They're light here because this is fairly clean, but the more you use it, the more those marks become visible. And they make it extremely difficult to clean up. And it'll ruin your paper. TV girl, I am guilty of never watching that show, but I had a friend, Albert James, who watched it, and he showed me a clip of those weeping angels. I know exactly what you're talking about. What the hell? All right, see? Did we freeze? Looks like my video freezed on the YouTube. No, it didn't. All right, so it creates two streams, but one of them is the only one that works. I'm gonna delete this one. I guess I can't. Okay, until we can figure it out. Did it cut off? No. Okay. What am I doing? Thor. The other day, you was talking about trying to draw realism. Are you doing any studies on your own? Good thing about Thor here, I'm drawing the classic Thor. So we can be exaggerating. Again, this isn't really the paper to be using to be trying to draw this way, but we're gonna make it work. You study by yourself? There's a ton of artists that draw realism. Where's that light coming from? Are you trying to draw faces, figures, landscapes? There are some tips, some techniques you can use to start that process. If you're going to try to do it via imagination, is going to be difficult, obviously. Not that it can't be done, but if you want to start getting accustomed to seeing how certain things look, the grid method, I don't know if you're familiar, you should be familiar with the grid method. That is, you create a grid for your reference and your paper, and you draw inside the sections of the squares. I've done it a couple of times. The lead I have in this pencil holder is a 2B pencil. Be slightly darker than that. some more of this. The hardest part to do, all right, so I have several of these figures. And they all serve a specific purpose. One is just for posing, one is just for heroic shots, whatever. This guy here, my boy Sly, I use him because he's kind of like weird and pliable. I use him so I can get really good stretches. And his skin looks almost realistic, so you can get really good stretches on the abs. A little tight. See that? Sorry for the light. So what I want to do, I want to try to capture that flex. You see how cool the abs activate there? I don't care so much for the arms. Because I really want to capture also the stretch. So let's do that. And I was looking at this anatomy book, and it shows the pectoral muscle is almost like a fan, like a fish. So the pec, and then it pinches here right where the shoulder starts, and like the armpit, and then it fans out. Alleged. You're really not even get to see a lot of the detail on Thor's body because of his suit. His classic suit is just black or dark blue. But we're not really, we don't care about that. Because you can use those shadows and those highlights. Move homie aside, get these dudes thick. Homeboy got some thick ass legs here. So yeah, realistic faces. Figures, landscapes, what are you doing? Everything realism. I'm not going to worry about the back leg. Everything is just in motion behind him. And this thing is not necessarily anatomically correct. Yeah, those figurines are really helpful. They get a little pricey. I think this guy may have been one of my more pricey. No. I have another one that's a bit more pricey than that one. I love this hand. I love the way the light's hitting it. You guys can't see it, but I'm getting really good. Finally, the sun is shining in the right spot for me. And his hand is huge compared to the rest of his body. All right, the hand. I have some lines here that really seem to work for like these all of these I have a bunch of scribbles and just aggressive marks that seem to really work well with getting the shapes in here. You gotta cheat it. Sometimes it just happens. The trick to making the figure look bigger, the size of the head to body has to be smaller. Alright. Again, I hate capes. I'm gonna see if I can simplify this cape. I don't know if I wanted to curl back, but it doesn't matter. Like a ball of energy. All right. And then I was doing this crazy thing. Generating energy from his fist, which is where the hammer is going to be. For you ASMR freaks, I'm sure you're digging the scratchies. Wham! All right. That's pretty light. So now I'm going to go over it again with need an eraser real quick. Just to get some of this loose graphite. If you always wanted to be a DJ growing up, the kneaded eraser is for you. All right, this one. I'm gonna move. Here I can draw a bit slower. The way Thor's old suit was, his traps, most of his side was exposed. Get that stretch. It's so absurd. Alright, I think I'm safe. I don't think I need to have my figure posing much more, but I'm gonna keep him there. Yes, doing art really needs patience and practice. Yes, it really does, man. And it's you gotta really enjoy it. You gotta really enjoy it because there's nothing else. All right, so it looks like the chat froze on screen. You see that? Why? Why did you freeze? All right, so let's get it out. I can still see it. Nope, it froze completely. Can I, let's see, how you do? It's all about practice and patience, unfortunately, right? And drawing everything everywhere, if you can. I gotta figure out how to do his face. Because this paper has a lot of texture, it's flattening my pencil. Alright, so we lose the shoulder, so let's make it bigger. I'm still using that giant figurine, the one over here, as my model, but what I'm trying to imagine is how the skin would react. Get some veins in there. I'll figure out how to do the arm in a second. Yeah, you see that? My own text didn't come through. Am I tripping? I feel like I'm tripping. Key is auto-generated. Anyway, I don't know what's happening. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to leave that one open. I'm going to refresh that. Let's just keep going. Thor with his thunder thighs. So it's implied, I think, the way he was drawn, that he was wearing a tunic. Over some stretchies. But you're absolutely right. TV girl, it needs patience and practice and being okay with doing a lot of stinky art. Well, art that you're not gonna like, and art that you're gonna tear up like I showed you earlier. Right, this is black. It's just gonna happen. And it's very personal. All the payoffs really are personal, more than anything. Before you make any money off of them, before you make anything that you want to share people, you end up appreciating all your successes first. Drawing is a very personal thing. In my opinion, I think that some people are just so talented and maybe not care that much and just do it. I think that's where the anger against AI artists comes from. There's nothing there. There's no There's no struggle there. All right, each prompted image, if you don't like it, you delete it, or you move on, you move on, you move on. There's nothing learned there. And when you're learning how to draw everything, you end up suffering all the little details, all the missed opportunities, all the missed inking mishaps. And it's like we never liked people cutting in line, right? But it is what it is. It's tough. It's tough. At any point, when something can earn money, or you can get money from something, human nature seems to always want to exploit that. Shoot, we're exploiting our artwork to make money. I know I'm trying to. Not myself, but anyway, enough of that. No politics in Hell's Kitchen on a Thursday. We're not even supposed to be here, so don't tell nobody. My dog agrees. Anyway, I think this Restream Test, a little bit is supposed to. I'm still going to try to figure it out. I got to figure out why I can't see some of the chat. I got to see why I can't see the vertical stream. I think it's kind of silly. I don't know how I'm going to do his hair. Excuse me. You don't like dogs? I like stray dogs. I like dogs, though. Excuse me. All right. But he has some down here too. But I got you. Yeah, I mean, same thing with cats. All right, all right. Get a small one. That would be a great way to get past your fear of dogs. Can't pet that dog. Huh, I went over his hair. That's right. I can redraw it. I think I need to go to an art class just so I can learn how to draw capes, man. Man, I don't know what it is about them. Was it downwards? Is the dog big? You know what you gotta do, TV girl? My mom is definitely afraid of dogs. She got bit when she was young, so she's had a phobia of dogs forever. And I have a dog, as you can hear. And when she came here, when she visited me, the thing I said to her was just ignore him. Ignore my dog. Don't even worry about it. Stand behind me if you have to, but ignore him. The dog loves her. Which is what then she hates the most. Because she'll sit down and we'll be having a conversation when she was here, and he'll go and lay by her feet. Because the thing is that if the dog is big but they're social dogs, then I can understand, because they want to play, they want to be around you, and if you're afraid of them, close, any type of distance is too close. Can you put the dog outside, please? So I got you. So I would suggest, if you want to get rid of that fear, tell your friend about your fear, if she knows or he knows. Just keep an eye up. I'm going to try to do it. And just keep your distance. Ignore him, and the dog will eventually lose interest. You're like, fine, you don't want to play, don't play. So the one thing I can't do with this type of Arches paper is my normal smudging, because it's so porous that if I smudge, it's going to just muddy up the paper. Maybe we can test it before I leave. Dogs understand the fear of humans? Yes. So, no sudden moves, ignore the dog, walk away, don't even look at it. The hardest part really is if it's a barker. But you got this. You could do it. Something like that. You know what? Let's test out how this smudging is going to work. I don't like it already. Yeah. Is there anything else I can use? So my fingers. Yeah. So it doesn't really work. How about a t-shirt? We smudged the whole damn thing. I didn't draw the hand. Talk to the hand. Yeah, this definitely is not the way to go. Hey Wild Food, how are you? Just messing around with some Restream, trying to figure out if I want to go back to this. I do for devoted streams where I get to invite some of my friends and some of my artists to draw with me live and on air. But there's certain things that it does and doesn't do that which is probably why I didn't stick to it. All right. So we're just messing around, but I think we might be about done. I don't know what I would be able to use. Maybe regular pencils? I don't think that matters. So this may be the challenge to try to use. This is arches. Oh yeah, this is my Thor model right here, and my Sylvester Stallone model right here. It just, the face looks like Sly. It looks like Sly from Demolition Man. Because when I draw to ink or to paint or whatever, what helps me, what brings me the most success is putting as much detail as possible on the paper. Or as much information, I shouldn't say detail, but as much information for my eyes to recognize as humanly possible for me to be successful painting. And this paper is so porous that doesn't allow me to have that type of precision. So I'm either going to have to draw cleaner, change the style, or I can draw on a separate piece of paper and see about transferring it over. I have a printer that's pretty strong, or strong enough that I can actually print on this Arches paper. But what was really cool when I did this failure, I drew it and then I just put acrylic wash over it, and then just started to paint it. But I lost a lot of the form and detail, so it became a struggle, which is why I got chucked. I kind of dig that Thor and I think Beta Ray Bill both have T's on their suits, either a belt or on the, I think Beta Ray has it on his boots. That figurine that I use is so ridiculous in size that it just makes the figures just so crazy. So, we might be able to salvage some of this. So what I'm gonna have to do, if I can't crack the code that is this paper, do some suggestive drawings and study some Frazetta. Frazetta did amazing pieces just from suggestion. He didn't do the whole face or all the detail of the face. So maybe that's something that I can do. But you see how it just chews up the pencil? So the one thing I don't like about Restream is that I can't zoom in on the page. I would need another camera at that tight of an angle and so on. Oh, I must have drawn that. All right. Hey, TV Guy, did you ever figure out if you were using, if your woodless lead pencils were all one grade? I have to go to my garage. I am sealing some paintings so that I can ship them out today. They were all different kinds? Fantastic. But there are sets that I almost purchased that they were all one type of pencil, which is okay if you only use HB or a specific lead, like a number 2 pencil. So Dolly passes, and now there's a tropical storm, Dolly, about to make landfall in Atlanta. Way to go, Dolly. Don't hurt nobody. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but I gotta. Thor always has a nice head of lettuce. Alright, let's see. Sorry if I get quiet. The boy starts concentrating. I still went a little bit ahead of the race. Because I didn't draw his hand there. I appreciate you, TV Girl. Thank you for hanging out today. It was supposed to be just me testing out some tech, but thank you for jumping on. I appreciate you, and I didn't want to have you jump on and ignore you. But we get to draw Thor live on Archer's paper, using some tools, using my models, using stuff, so never a loss. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. God bless you. Love you, mean it. Alright, I am going to follow suit. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate you. Thank you for helping me test out this thing. I don't know if I'm going to be using it all that often. I will be using it to jump on live with other people. And that's what this test was for. To re-recognize the limitations and the possibilities. So, that's it. Thank you guys for hanging out. See you in the next one on the For Realsies. Bye.